Hello, and welcome to this short introduction to documenting compliance assessments in Ardoq. This is one of 5 record types covered by our architecture records solution, the others being patterns, architecture decision records, architecture standards, and exception requests. EA teams are often tasked with coordinating governance activities, such as overseeing compliance with regulatory requirements. Our regulatory compliance solution enables you to describe the regulatory requirements you are subject to and document the controls you've put in place to address them. You may also have to conduct regular assessments of individual systems to confirm that they are compliant. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you how you can record the results of those assessments with Ardoq, making it easy for you to create an audit trail of the compliance assessments you carry out. This solution can also be used to document any other sort of compliance assessment, for example, the result of an assessment as to whether a solution satisfies the demands of your organization's architecture guiding principles. We'll start by taking a look at the meta model for the compliance assessment component type. As with other architecture record component types, we've adopted a flexible design so that you can tailor compliance assessments to suit your particular requirements. The has subject reference is used to point to the subject or subjects of the assessment. One assessment might be reviewing more than one thing, and the type of thing you're assessing may vary according to the regulations or framework you're considering. An application component might be the most likely type, but you might be assessing a process or even a component that represents a project, such as an initiative component. We'll see how this appears in the accompanying survey shortly. To change the subject type, all you need to do is make a simple change using Ardoq's survey builder. The refers to reference can also be used in different ways. It is up to you to settle on your meaning. You might use it to point at a component that represents the regulation you're assessing against. Or you might point at considerations that influence the assessment outcome, such as the controls that have been applied to the subject that provide evidence of compliance. The last outgoing reference is to the people who have approved the assessment. It is often useful for audit purposes to record this detail. You may want to capture different kinds of assessment in the same workspace. A good way of organizing this is to store assessments as children of category components. As provided, the compliance assessment component type has just 5 fields. You'll recognize most of these if you're familiar with other architecture records component types. And it is easy to add other fields from the records family if you want to extend the compliance assessment component type. Here's the survey we provide with the solution to record the results of a compliance assessment. One difference from other records you'll notice is that there is a yes/no list field called pass. This isn't just a record of what you did, it needs to record an outcome. Did the assessment conclude that the subject does or does not comply? And accompanying that, you can provide the rationale behind the result, the approval status, and a live date range which should record the period during which this outcome remains valid. This can be used in a workflow using a broadcast to trigger the next assessment before this one runs out. This might, for example, send a link to create a new assessment to the owner of the application concerned, or to someone in your compliance team to conduct the next assessment. Ardoq's automation capabilities can ensure that you stay on top of your governance no matter how large or complex your estate is. And as these compliance assessment records are components connected to other elements in your knowledge graph, they can be surfaced whenever relevant in different contexts. You may be centered on key applications. Their compliance status can be made visible. Or you might want to review all your compliance assessments, looking at the pass-fail rates for different regulations. And you will likely want to see a report of all components that should have a compliance assessment but either don't have an attached record or have one that is out of date. A simple report can do the trick. I hope you found this introduction to the simple solution for recording the results of compliance assessments in Ardoq useful. If you want to go beyond recording the outcomes to using Ardoq to conduct evaluations and recording a set of scores and recommendations against individual criteria, then take a look at our Solution Health Check solution, which deals with the detail of conducting architecture reviews. In the meantime, thanks for taking the time to watch this video.